Hi, Dave Taylor here again, and this time we're looking at the Samsung Galaxy S7. That's this guy. This is the flagship smartphone from Samsung right now. And Samsung's gone through a lot of evolution in their smartphones, and this one really demonstrates a lot of what they've been listening to their customers about with previous generations. So, unlike the S6, for example, this has a micro SD card reader. So you can put in up to 200 gig of additional space, and you could actually swap in and out multiple micro SD cards if you're super enthusiastic. I've never seen anyone do that, but it would theoretically give you infinite storage space, which you got to admit, would be pretty nice. Also comes built in with 32 gig, but let's look at the actual screen and the tech itself. So it's running Marshmallow, so that's Android 6.0 for those of you paying attention, and that has a lot of power management features, which is good because one of the things with the S7 is the battery life is kind of meh at best, but we'll come back to that. It has a 5.1 inch HD Super AMOLED screen, or AMOLED, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what that means, but it just means it's a nice, bright, colorful screen. And the S7 Edge actually is a slightly bigger screen because you get that screen on the edges. So that's a 5.5 inch, but this is just the straight S7. So 5.1 inch, and it's plenty bright enough and plenty enough resolution to make photos and movies and TV shows and everything all look pretty sweet. The camera's worth mentioning. The front one's just a 5 megapixel, nothing to write home about. But the back one is a 12 megapixel dual pixel tech camera. And what they mean by that is that it has a faster focusing and better rendering of the images that it sees. So here's an example of an image or a photo that I took with this. And you can see it's bright, vibrant colors. It's capturing a lot of nuance in the color. And one of the other things that Samsung says is with the dual pixel technology that it also gives you better low light photos. So that's something to explore. I haven't really heard much pro or con in that regard, but Samsung generally packs a nice camera on their phones. Let's see, another really cool thing is that this again has dust and water resistant features. So if you have it on the table and you're drinking and you knock over your cup of coffee and it splashes across your phone, you do not have to completely panic. All you have to do is wipe your phone off and you're good to go. I would not, however, recommend leaving this in your pocket when you go for a deep sea dive. Probably not what it's rated for. We haven't tested that. I don't recommend you do either. But having it be water and dust resistant is pretty nice. And you've probably seen their TV ads where the guy has it drop into a puddle and then he pulls it out and the phone works perfectly well. So again, that's what they mean by water resistant. Let's see. So let's talk about the battery since we're at that point now. So the S7 comes with a 3000 milliamp hour battery, which is bigger than like the iPhone 6S, but it's not big enough for this phone. And here's the reality, is that this phone runs out of battery fairly quickly. So this is something, if you go and look online, that is the #1 complaint from people, is that if you're using this heavily, then it's not even going to last a single day without needing to be recharged. And that might just be the state of the way, the state of the industry with smartphones, but it's really frustrating to have your phone and to want to use it, which is why I got it in the first place, and then to realize around 4, 5, 6 p.m. that you're going out on the town and your phone really is just about on its last legs. So now you got to figure out, how can I charge it before I meet my friends for dinner and then we go to that theater show or something. So that's something worth knowing. The other thing a lot of people complain about is fingerprints on the screen. Now, I haven't really experienced that much, and frankly, it's pretty easy to wipe your screen occasionally, so I'm not sure why people get so upset about that. I mean, we have fingers, our fingers have oil. If we're using touch screen surfaces, they get dirty. But again, something I want you to know about with the S7 is that there is some issue potentially with the fingerprints. So let's see, that's pretty much the key features. It's just overall a really nice phone. It's a really nice Android phone, and it just, as I said, has this really wonderful feel in your hands. Comes in 2 colors. This is what they call black onyx, and they also have a gold platinum. and it's pretty expensive. If you want to buy one of these straight out, I looked at AT&T Wireless for pricing. So if you want to buy one of these straight out to put onto the AT&T network, or of course onto whatever cellular network you prefer, they run about $695. So that's a lot of money, but this is a lot of computer just tucked into a really handy pocket form. Now with AT&T, you can also do their payment plan. So the other way to do this is if you're willing to spend payments for 30 months, you can get it down to 23 bucks a month. So that makes it a very small increment on your cell phone bill. Although in 24 months, when the S23 comes out or whatever it is, then you might have to go back to your AT&T people and see what they can work out in terms of a finesse or however else you acquire the phone. Of course, you can learn a lot more at Samsung's website, but I will tell you that it's a really nice phone. I really like the S7. If I was an Android user, I actually use my iPhone as my primary phone. But if my primary phone was an Android phone, this would be on the very, very, very short list. And I would learn how to deal with the battery issues by having just a charger in my car, and maybe every time I'm at a restaurant, I might have a little extra battery that I charge overnight and such. Whatever, easily manageable. But the phone itself just has a really nice feel, and it's very, very zippy and a really bright screen. So, this is Dave Taylor looking at the Samsung Galaxy S7 smartphone, and I'll see you in my next video.